Hey everyone, it's Natalie. Today I'm doing a video on the opportunistic, narcissistic mother-in-law, father-in-law. So I'm just going to read the paper or the list that I wrote. These are things that I have experienced with my narcissistic in-laws. Maybe you can relate. So let's get started. The opportunistic narcissist. A narcissist resembles a psychopath, the feeling of entitlement and deficient in any compassion or remorse. Thus, they become opportunistic or even an offender. Number one, finding ways to throw divorce into your everyday life event, like when you get into a disagreement or something minor. An example is inviting your spouse to go out to eat without you and whispering the D word, the divorce word, into your spouse's ear out of nowhere while they're eating or talking. They take every opportunity to try and smear you to your partner when they can isolate them from you. Two, calling your child after going no contact at someone else's house, like a cousin, an aunt, an uncle, something like that, and getting other people involved into their agenda and then playing victim like they did not know why they could not speak to your child. And in return, putting you into a uncomfortable situation on purpose. It is to make you look like the perpetrator or the problem in front of these people. Three, taking your traumas or seeing signs of weakness in your everyday life to advance their agenda instead of showing you compassion. They are predators who see your weaknesses as an advantage over you. Four, finding faults in your own family of origin and using them against you, even when they were traumatic or no fault of your own, like growing up poor or your parents being divorced. They might say they might say she comes from a broken home and look down on you for it. Or they might say she is a nobody and nothing and will never amount to anything because she comes from a poor background. Or she grew up in an abusive house, so she will become an abuser. They need to look in the mirror. 5. When they see you are having problems in life, they will trigger you to get a reaction because they know you are already upset. Then will take the opportunity to play the victim for attention for their agenda. 6. If you have a special announcement or accomplishment, they will take the opportunity to make the situation about them. For example, they will take your accomplishments and compare it to bigger and better accomplishments that they have, or let's say you're announcing you are pregnant, and they will not acknowledge it when you announce it. Or they will announce something to get something about them to get the attention back on them. Or acting like your pregnancy is not a big deal to them. Maybe even disagreeing with names that you choose for your child or the way that you're going to decorate their room, whatever it is, whatever your announcement is that you're excited about, they will just put you down for it. Or they might talk about how they're going to be the best grandma in the world and never congratulating you on your pregnancy. And matter of fact, they might even ignore you while you're pregnant. And then let's say you go and give birth and they're the first people that are in the birthing room. That happened to me. 7, saying passive aggressive things to you to make you feel bad and discredit your character. 8, digging into your past to find flaws, traumas, faults, and mistakes you have made to smear you to others or to trigger you. 9, spying on you to criticize or smear you to make false allegations about your mothering, your homemaking, or how you spend your time. 10, getting other people involved in your business who have no business knowing it. 11, taking opportunities to discredit your character to whoever will listen. 12, dangling family inheritance like wills or jobs, children, your children, education, and etc. to get their way. 13, manipulating situations to get their way. Even if it's going to hurt someone, they don't care. 14, showing up at your house uninvited when your spouse is not there to start conflict and turn around and play the victim when they are confronted about it. This has happened to me numerous times. I had asked her to call 3 separate times. Then she got someone else involved, which was her husband. They came to my house with a Costco pizza, and all it was an attempt to trigger me in front of her husband so I would react and he could see that all of her smearing is accurate. And she did get a reaction. I opened the door and looked straight at her and said, I asked you 3 separate times not to come to my house without calling first, and you still showed up. And her husband tried to pry the door open that I was standing in front of. I took the door and I said, get the fuck out of my house. And I shut the door right in their face because I had it. Plus, there were some other things that were going on in the background, like my husband telling my husband to divorce me in private and then smiling in my face and trying to spend time with me. So I had never spoke to his parents like that before, but she was trying to get that reaction and she needed a witness for that reaction, and she sure did get it, which then in return really made me look like the bad guy. But anyway, let's go on to 15. Finding ways to include themselves in your plans. 16. Putting their opinion into your family decisions and acting like they have the right to. Then play the victim when their opinion doesn't count. 17. Getting your spouse alone to talk crap and whisper lies into their ears to change the way they look at you. 18. Excluding you from family pictures or family events just to hurt you and make you feel unwelcomed and uncomfortable. And let me just tell you, let me stop. That happened to me so many times where she would say, here, Natalie, take a picture, even though if there was someone else that could take a picture there. She would say, here, take the picture so I can get a picture of only my family, even though my son and my husband was in the picture. And I could not tell you how many times this lady has excluded me out of family photos. It happened when we went twice. We went to Europe twice, and it happened every single time we visited our European family. She would ask me to step out of the picture so she could have a picture of only their family, even when my child was in it. Oh, and she definitely excluded me from Christmases, my son's very own fourth birthday, Thanksgiving, vacations, my son's birthday again for the second time when he was turning 5. So she tried to exclude me on his 4th birthday and then 5th birthday when we were taking him to Disney World, and then acted as though surprised that my husband said that if I can't go, then they're not going, and acting hurt when, he would say something like, Mom, how do you think that's going to make Natalie feel that you're inviting me and her son and and then just acting like it's not a big deal. I mean, that's the thing, Mom, is she's my wife, and you can't go uninviting her to events and then acting hurt or acting as though it's not a big deal when, obviously it's going to be a big deal to my wife that you've uninvited her. So, yeah, and then, really acting surprised, like, you're not going to come to Christmas? Well, no, I'm not, Mom, because my wife isn't invited. Oh my God, he's not going to go to Disney World for his birthday? Well, no, Mom, you invited his mother. I mean, it's just mind bending to think that they would be surprised that your son and husband won't go to a celebration without you. It's really it's mind blowing. I'm sorry, but I can't get over that still to this day. 19, inviting you to go hang out with them just to get dirt on you that they can use later. 20, taking the opportunity to feel entitled to your help whenever it is convenient for them. 21, taking opportunities to try and tell you how to run your family or marriage. 22, taking opportunities to separate you from your spouse whenever they can. 23, taking opportunities to cross boundaries and then feel entitled to do so, or feel hurt and like a victim when you stand your ground on your boundaries. 24, finding opportunities to say passive aggressive remarks that are unwarranted and inappropriate. 25, finding ways to exclude you out of your child's life, like in only inviting them, or being selfish with your child and acting like they don't need you to be here. And it's your child. 26, finding opportunities to put you down, ridicule you, or belittle you in front of others or in private. They love to do it in private. That way, when you go back and tell your husband that they put you down or belittled you, your husband won't believe you because big shocker, they think that their mother would never do that. But we all know that they really deep down know that their mother is like that. But yeah, they love to do that in private. So that way, nobody believes you. 27, saying passive aggressive things to you or about you, or saying passive aggressive things maybe about your child or other people that make you feel uncomfortable. Could even be your own parents. 28, making family decisions that you do not know about or making them when you have asked them not to. 29, being opportunistic in everyday life about the little things. 30, using anything against you, like how you talk to them or how you might be upset with them. Then they slander your name later for being upset with them or maybe standing your ground on your boundary. 31, taking opportunities to talk about you to family members or friends or church members. 32, taking credit for things that they did not accomplish. 33, establishing and affirming their presence by using everything in their environment. 34, taking the opportunity for recognition for other people's accomplishments. Did I say that? Oh, yeah, I did. Sorry, guys. 35, taking the opportunity to demand respect or hesitant to give it to you. 36, using their status and social standing to feel good about themselves or to feel entitled or to make them feel like they are better than you, just to put you down, make you feel down about yourself. 37, taking opportunities to be in charge of the situation or for acknowledgement and popularity. 38, disregarding another in order to succeed. And it's not a big deal to them that they do this, even when it hurts you. 39, disregarding others' wants, needs, goals, etc. in order for them to succeed or meet their very own agenda. 40, they will take the opportunity to embarrass you in front of others just to feel entitled. 41, they take advantage of others' generosity to advance their agenda, taking advantage of loving, caring, kind people to get their way. 43, or actually that was the end of the list. Let me just read what I have left. They hope that you wouldn't have enough awareness or boundaries to protect yourself. They use charisma and praise so they can loosen your defenses and you will invite them into every aspect of your life so they can get their agenda met. And we all know they love to use that love bombing to get you to open up so that way you can be vulnerable to them. Though flatteries praises and compliments may seem to be positive. They normally conceal a hidden agenda. They are just trying to hidden agenda. They are just trying to boost your pride and weaken your good judgment to take full advantage of you by convincing you that you're pretty, you're smart, or admirable. Then they trick you into giving them, which tricks you into giving them information they can hoard later against you. There will be lots of praises and compliments flowing your way so they can exploit you into doing just what they want. They are extremely annoying and pushy when trying to get their way or, trying to get an opportunity or whatever it is. They might even hint about something or won't stop asking you about something they want. They are pushy people who are rude and disrespectful of your personal space and then make you feel ashamed or even guilty as if you are a bad person for voicing your boundaries. They are takers and not givers. True relationships are based on balance of giving and taking, but the narc never gives. They feel as though you owe them something and cannot fathom the concept of give and take. They try to discuss your personal life, like your marriage, finances, or family matters, with their network of friends and family. That have no business knowing anything about you, thus advancing their agenda with others when they trigger you. They can say, "See, I told you she was not responsible or she was a bad wife or mother. Remember when I told you about that one time? Or I told you she's like that. I told you this is how she is," when they trigger you, right? They exploit you and always gives you the short end of the stick. They keep you on the hook for everything and never take responsibility or accountability for anything. When dealing with an opportunistic narc, always keep your life private and lay boundaries down. Never doubt the narc to take full advantage of any situation. They will even use their own grandchildren or child to advance their agenda, even if they are put in harm's way. They are not empathetic and they are not empathetic and will never be able to relate to any of your life events and will instead take the opportunity to make the situation worse or all about them. They do not know how to feel shame, so nothing is off the table when they see an opportunity. They are entitled Karens who think the world revolves around them and have zero shame pushing someone off a cliff for their own advancement. These are people without a soul and are evil, so do not put any trust in them. So, look, guys, sorry if I messed up a little bit, but I was reading that and I don't have my glasses. What I've noticed with my mother-in-law is that she just had no shame in doing any of the things that she did. And I couldn't imagine pulling some of the stunts that she did on other people. I mean, I would feel so shameful and remorseful. But that's the thing, is that when you're dealing with a narcissist, they're so entitled. I mean, they're so entitled that they don't even know how to feel shame. And, I always like to think that their karma is haunting them now, except we can't see it because narcissists will never know will tell you if anything is going wrong in their life. You'll just never know. But I like to think that they are suffering their own consequences for past discretions or for current discretions. And I think sometimes, like, I can't wait until my mother-in-law. See, I'm a Christian, so if you're not religious, excuse this part, but I like to think that when my mother-in-law meets God, our maker, that God is going to have this big, like, TV or something, and he's going to sit her down in a chair and say, I want you to watch the horrible things that you have done to people and put her in front of that screen and watch the whole thing with her. And then when she turns to God and asks God, well, I'm ready for heaven, without apologizing or showing remorse, God will say, no, you will be damned to hell. You will be living in the fiery pits of hell for the rest of your life for the things that you have put people through. That's what I like to imagine sometimes. I don't know, man. I'll tell you at this point, I can't, maybe I shouldn't say it, but at this point, if she dies, I'm going to spit on her grave. I already told my husband this. And matter of fact, I'm going to do something much, much worse. And it entails human excrement. This is how I feel today. Maybe a little bit further in my healing journey, I won't have this feeling. But after 22 years of just nonstop abuse, I just, I hate her. And this is the thing, is that I didn't really realize that it was hate, because I've never hated anyone in my life. But I remember one day she told my husband, your girlfriend hates me. And I looked at my husband and I go, you know what? I do hate her. She finally got something right. Even though we know that they use cognitive dissonance, and the way that they say you feel is really the way they feel about you. But that moment that my husband said that his mother said that, it was like, this was her game plan. She was doing all this so I would have hate in my heart for her, because she has hate in her heart for me. And at this point in my healing journey, the hate has kind of died down a lot, because it used to be fiery hate. But the feeling of wanting to poop in a bag and throw it on her grave has not went away. And I'm sorry. And I know I'm a life coach. I know I sit here and try to help others. But if you have experienced even 25% of what I experienced in the 22 years, Chloe, in the 22 years, you'd probably want to do a lot worse. And I hate that I feel that way, because I've never felt like doing something so cruel in my life to someone else, because I'm a loving, kind, and compassionate, caring person. But this is one person that I feel deserves a dump on their grave. I have total disgust over her behavior and the way that she has treated me through the years. And I think mainly the reason why I have this disgust is because she's never explained why she treated me that way. She's never apologized. She's always felt entitled to say the things she said about me, felt entitled to constantly tell my husband to either break up with me or divorce me once we got married, threatening my husband that she didn't verbally say this. She said, I'll do whatever it takes to protect my grandson. But really what she meant, she didn't verbally say this, but really what she meant was, I'm going to take you to court for your child, and I'm going to raise him as my own. So it's just these horrible things. And I am the best mother. My whole life is dedicated to my child. I have never even spanked my child, even though she spanked my child. I've never laid a hand on my child. I've done everything, sacrificed my life for my child. And the nerve of her, the nerve. And basically another reason why I'm just so still really upset is because only 3 years ago she had a list. She told my husband to write the list down that she had written down because she was planning to have him divorce me. And that was, she was telling him to cancel my bank cards, to take me off the banking account, to kick me out of our home, to take my vehicle, just everything that we've worked so hard to get in these 22 years, she was just going to try to take it from me like it wasn't a big deal. Just like, it's an everyday life event. Take all this, take her child, take everything that makes her her, take it away, punish her. And you know why she did that? Because my husband went and told her, and he does realize through counseling this was a huge mistake, and I also think he did it to punish me, but went and told her about an argument we had, thinking that she would be that supportive parent that he's always wanted. And it's like, cut me a break. I know exactly why you went and told your mother what you told her. It was to make you look good and to make me look bad. So you can turn into the narcissist just like your mother and have someone give you pity and sympathy for something that he did. He did it. And maybe one day I will share that story. This is the big blow up, the last straw of why we went no contact. But I have noticed through the years that my husband has learned narcissistic behaviors from his mother and does interject them in our relationship when it benefits him. I have noticed that. He has gotten a lot better. The counselor has helped him with that. I wouldn't say that my husband's a narcissist or anything. He's actually the sweetest, kindest, most loving guy. But yeah, I mean, I've definitely caught him doing some shady shit, man. Excuse my language, but I have. And there's been times that when I see him doing something like this, I just find him completely disgusting. Completely disgusting, because he reminds me of his mother. And you know what I started doing is, if I caught him through the years acting like that, I'd say, oh yeah, go ahead, act like your mother, it's fine, I'm used to it. And I think that saying that to him too did hurt him and make him realize that he is acting like his mother. So he has stopped doing that, but there has been quite a few occasions that he's done things that he was ashamed of, turned around and put it on me to make him look like the good guy and to make me look like the bad guy. But the truth always comes out, regardless if the narcissist believes me or not. A lot of things she doesn't know, but the few things that my husband has shared with her, she has taken opportunities to destroy our marriage or relationship over it. Even though they're like minor things, like everyone in a marriage fights, everyone has disagreements, everyone's not always going to get along for 22 years. But it doesn't mean you don't love that person. It doesn't mean you don't want your marriage or family. It's just the way it is. Everyone has a disagreement with their partner. But what makes your situation different is when your partner feels entitled to go share this with the narc, and it's mainly because they think that they are going to get sympathy or empathy from their parent. They think they're going to get their parent to give them advice in their marriage, and that's really what my husband was looking for. He went to his mom looking for advice in our marriage over this argument, and instead she took the full opportunity to just throw me out in a ditch, childless, homeless, moneyless, husbandless. And that was my breaking point. I was like, oh, hell no. How dare you tell my husband to do that to me? And I think right then I really, I knew her heart, but after my husband showed me the list that she made him write down, he obviously wasn't going along with it. After I read that list, I was like, this is one of the most heartless, cruel people I have ever met in my life. And that's when I grew the strength to finally say, enough is enough. And now it's been 3 years. I'm narc free. I'm drama free. My marriage is the best it's ever been since getting rid of this person out of it. Because could you imagine having a narcissist in your life for as long as I have? I'm surprised. Really, it takes a strong woman to stay in this type of situation. It really does. Luckily, I'm a Taurus, and I am definitely a bull. And if you come up against me, you're going to get hurt. I'm not going to back down. And I don't think she was expecting that from me. I also think that's one of the reasons why my brother-in-law can't really keep a girlfriend either. Really, I don't think he's really had a serious girlfriend. Well, the one he had, all of a sudden she disappeared. I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. But yeah, I hope you like the video. Sometimes I just need to say what's on my chest, because I feel like a lot of people are going through the same thing that I'm going through. And so I'm just letting you know you're not alone. All right, guys. Peace, love, and harmony. See you guys later. Bye.